This time, it's all about the bass and a bit of treble. What's up guys, and welcome to another Gear Chronicles here by TUGGtv. Now in today's episode, we're going to talk about the Schecter SGR C4. Well, if you're somebody who's here to just kind of skip all the yakety yak and go right to the sound samples, well, you can go to this timestamp. So yeah, talking about the bass, this is the Schecter SGR C4. Now as you all know, the SGR series is the entry level for Schecter, and these instruments come out of their Chinese workshop or factories for legal purposes. Now coming to the actual specifications of this bass, I'll have it listed in the screen now. As you can see, there isn't something which is spectacularly new when it comes to this. We have the usual basswood body, a maple neck and rosewood fretboard. But there are a couple of things which stands out in this bass which I'll be getting to in a while. Now coming to the actual build quality of this particular bass, well, it's pretty well made. I don't see any QC issues with it. The only thing was when I picked it up, I kinda did have to adjust the action of it for a bit. Now an awesome feature of this particular bass is hidden in the back, because as you can see, it's got 6 screws which is holding the neck together. And not only that, it also comes with a bit of a recessed heel which kind of makes it easier for you guys to actually access the 24th fret. Moving on to one of the features which I love about this bass, it's actually the pickups. Now even though it's an entry level bass, the pickups are pretty dynamic and the humbucker kind of gives you that fullness to the sound. And not only that, if you're somebody who's new to the bass, it also pretty much eliminates the single coil hum. The single coil hum is pretty prominent in basses which actually have a JJ or a J configuration. So if you're a beginner who's kind of tiptoeing around their first bedroom setup, this shouldn't cause any issues when it comes to the sound. Another interesting part about this bass is actually in the bridge. Now unlike every other entry level bass out there, this particular bridge actually gives you quite a bit of chunk of the metal wherein the strings are actually connected. Now personally, I love these kind of bridges on the entry level basses, and the only other situation wherein I've seen them is on the ESP basses. Yeah, I'm gonna be saying basses quite often in this video, so yeah, why not make a drinking game of it and have a shot every time I see it. Now heading over to the controls department, well, this is where it kind of seems a bit bare bones, but it does have an advantage. Now the configuration here is the 2 volume 2 tone control, and one of the things which I actually found a bit odd in this particular bass is that this is for the neck and this is for the bridge. So logically, when you're playing the bass, you're always going to assume that this is going to be for the bridge and this is going to be for the neck. So it does take a bit of getting used to, but it's not too much of a stretch. Now coming to the advantage, what I was talking about before, if you're somebody who's kind of a beginner into the bass world, these kind of controls are really good for you to understand how exactly the bass tone is. There are no bells and whistles here, it's a straightforward brute force approach, and well, as a beginner who's kind of in search of their bass tone, that's quite enough. Talking about the neck which is there on this particular bass, well, it's a pretty thin C shape, and talking about playability, well, it's pretty fast when you think about it. Now coming to all the time that I've actually owned the bass, I haven't faced any issues with the tuning stability. Even though these are the generic Schecter tuners, well, they kind of do a pretty good job at holding their tune. The only drawback that I see in this bass is the probability that you might have to change your pots after, say, 5 years or so. If you're somebody who's going to be constantly using the knobs, you can kind of feel it giving way after a while. But other than that, there is absolutely no complaints, and this is one solid hell of a bass. Now enough of me just talking about the bass, let's give it a hear. Now that you guys have actually heard the bass, what do you guys think about it? Let us know in the comments down below. So coming to my conclusion about this bass, well, it's a pretty solid bass for its price point. Now if you're somebody who's new to the bass world or somebody who just needs a backup bass to keep it at home and practice, well, this is the perfect one for you. Also, another fact that I love about the Schecters is that the build quality is really good, and well, if you swap out a few components like the pickups and the tuners, you pretty much end up with a really good bass that, well, can be your primary axe as well. So if this bass is on your mind and something that you're considering picking up, go for it. Now I hope this video was pretty informative for you guys and gave you guys an idea about how exactly the Schecter SGR C4 is. Now if this is the first time you're coming across our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Here at TUGGtv, we focus on a lot of original content, experiments with guitars and basses, and well, a few funny ones as well. So this is TUGGtv signing off, and as always, stay safe and stay metal.